Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue our tutorials about our hourly analysis program. In this video, we are gonna complete the system. We will generate the report, and we're gonna also talk about the sizing data tab. But please, before starting this, I have to leave a comment on what's happening nowadays in the world about the American politics, the American election. We all, I think that many of us, especially Americans, watched the first debate and the second debate between Mrs. Hillary Clinton and Mr. Donald Trump for the as presidential candidates 2016. I watched the second debate and the first debate, but not all the first debate. What was interesting in the first debate is the interruption of Mrs. Hillary many times by Mr. Trump. Wrong, not, and something like that. And then before the second debate, there was a video that was taped. It was a tape for Mr. Trump in 2005, but unfortunately this tape or that video consisted or contained vulgar words about women, and Mr. Trump used many filthy and obscene words describing women. It was a very bad thing in his history to see or to watch this video or to hear this tape. And many people around the world stopped encouraging him, and especially the Republican. So what is the problem now? You know that there is problems with Muslims about treating women. Many people that they do not know exactly the Muslims, they do not know us. They say that women in Islam are treated like animals, or men in Islam treat women violently, and they punish them, and they say aggressive words to them. But actually, not all men do this, and the true believers follow the Quran and Hadith. We are not allowed to treat women like this. We are not allowed to curse. We are not allowed to damn. We are not allowed to treat women like low-grade animals or whatever. You say women are created for men and men are created for women. It's a very important thing. Women, we cannot live without women. We are not gays. You have to treat women gently and politely. You have to control your tongue, to control yourself. If you wanna be a leader like Mr. Trump, you have to control your tongue. To be a gentleman, to be a leader, to deserve to be a leader. What happened from Mr. Trump was absolutely unacceptable. Not after watching the video or the tape. No, from the beginning, Trump's character is interesting. And he was attacked many times before this video or this vulgar tape. This is the character of Mr. Trump. So the video, I did not think that it is a shock. No, it is predicted. Okay, here I'm gonna show you the Islamic principles, the Islamic manner that the true believers only believe in it. So please have patience if you wanna learn something new today. Life is not mechanical engineering only. Okay, here is from our Quran in Ali Imran, the sons of Imran. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. زين للناس حب الشهوات من النساء والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة والخيل المسومة والأنعام والحرث ذلك متاع الحياة الدنيا والله عنده حسن المآب. Beautified for people is the love of that which they desire, of women and sons heaped up, sums of gold and silver, fine branded horses and cattle and tilled land. That is the enjoyment of worldly life, but Allah has with him the best return. So the first desire of men by nature is women. Men are attracted to women. Wherever you go, you will find men look at women, staring at their bodies. Okay, not staring at their minds, not deal with their minds. They only deal with the beautiful lady with the beautiful hair. She has got beautiful hair and beautiful body. She is so sexy and hot. This is, I think, is ridiculous, and Allah created sex for the generations, and to get pregnant you have to have sex. Okay, we Muslims believe in this. It is a scientific evidence, and Quran tells us that you have to have sex, but after marriage, because you have to take the responsibility of your actions. Women are not actually sex in Islam. You deal with the woman as a lady. She will be your wife. She will be the mother of your sons. Not like the lions at the forests. Okay, and the lions have sex and they still together. Not many animals make this. They just have sex for the next generation, and they do not meet each other again. This is exactly what the people do. If you have sex before marriage, it's just for fun, it's just for pleasure, and this is not acceptable. This is very harmful for the relationships between the man and the woman. There are many problems, and there are scientific papers that assure that having sex before marriage destroy the relationship after getting married. Okay, and we as Muslims follow our Quran that tells us this or told us this 1434 years ago, before any research papers. Okay, another thing in hadith about cursing. Mr. Trump or any man who curses, use obscene words or profanity is not acceptable, and our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has talked about it here. لا ينبغي للمؤمن أن يكون لعانا. It is not fitting for a believer to be a cursor. Another thing, إن الله لا يحب الفاحش المتفحش ولا الصياح في الأسواق. Allah does not love the loud and coarse, nor the one who shouts in the markets. Another thing, ليس المؤمن بالطعان ولا اللعان ولا الفاحش ولا البذيء. A believer is not a defamer, nor a cursor, nor coarse, nor obscene. Another thing, لا ينبغي لذي الوجهين أن يكون أمينا. A person who is two-faced cannot be trusted, and I can tell you that Mr. Trump was criticized for being a two-faced guy or a two-faced man. Sometimes he says something and sometimes he say the reverse of that, or say another thing that is not related to the topic. If you are interested in watching the Late Show with Colbert Report, you will absolutely find this video. Mr. Trump, I think this is not you cannot trust in him. He always say that he is smart, he is better, and all of people are not good, and the first of them are Mrs. Hillary Clinton. She will be in jail. Okay, you have to face it, not to say this every time. She is. This is not acceptable. This is ridiculous. And this is not the manner or the attitude of a gentleman. Also, another thing is لُعِنَ اللَّعَانُونَ. The cursors are cursed by Allah. And so on. You can find out many things here. لا ينبغي للصديق أن يكون لعانا. The true person must not be a cursor. So will you vote to Mr. Trump that he cursed women, that he used many filthy words that I cannot say it here? Okay, another thing is the Islamic leadership. How to choose a leader. You can read this. This is from the Holy Quran, the Holy Prophet, the wise caliphs, and here the conclusion. I'm going to show you the conclusion of this. The leader in Islam has to have these 11 things: faith and belief, knowledge and wisdom, courage and determination, mutual consultation and unity, morality and pity, to be honest and to be trustful, superior communication, justice and compassion, patience. You have to have patience and to hear for everyone, and endurance. Patience. If you watch the first debate between Mr. Trump and Mrs. Hillary, he interrupted her many times. Not wrong. This is ridiculous. You have to have patience, commitment and sacrifice, lifelong endeavor and gratitude and prayers. Not to curse every time, not to say that this guy is blah 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 and teet every time. The most times that I watch OCN News, or they have a video for Mr. Trump their teeth in front of the world, in front of cameras. There is no any modesty. How can I vote for you? Another thing is about women in Quran. Why women are ordered in Islam to wear hijab? Why? Here is Surah An-Nur, the light. And tell the believing women to reduce some of their vision and guard their private parts and not expose their adornment except that which necessarily appears thereof, and to wrap a portion of their head covers, hijab, over their chests, and not expose their adornment except to their husbands, their fathers, their husbands' fathers, their sons, their husbands' sons, their brothers' sons, their sisters' sons, their women, that which their right hands possess at that time, or those male attendants having no physical desire, children, kids, or children who are not yet aware of the private aspects of women, and let them not stamp their feet to make known what they conceal of their adornment, and turn to Allah in repentance, all of you, all believers, that you might succeed. If you watch the vulgar video, you will see that Mr. Trump have talked about many things, including the legs of women, that they are attractive and sexy. That's why the women in Islam wear hijab. So what about the hijab in Christianity? But before this, this is the women who wears hijab. But actually, hijab is very simple clothes cover. You have to cover your body. This is not a hijab. This is a fashion. She covers her hair, but this is not a hijab. You have to cover your bosoms. To wear white clothes. Not to show your beauty, not to show your body. Okay, so the Islamic hijab, this is the modern hijab, but we do not accept many of these pictures. This is good. If you look at a woman to know is this a good hijab or not, you have to look at the woman. If you do not see any of her body's part exposed, this is a true hijab. This is the function of hijab, is to cover your body. Is this woman stupid because she covers her hair? No, you have to deal with her mind. But we do not accept niqab. Niqab is not from God. We do not believe in it. But some Muslims believe that they have to cover their face. But I do not think we are not ordered to do this. And this is this is also another hijab. This is the true hijab. And look at this woman. Is there something wrong with this woman because she covers her body? No, she may be good, and the beauty is the beautiful of your attitudes and your tongue. Not to say cursing, not to say that these people are teeth. Look at women. And this is not hijab, this is just a cover. women have to cover their bodies, especially hair and the exposed parts like breasts and legs, and to not to and to wear wide clothes. And white clothes are better scientifically than any other clothes. The ladies feel comfortable. Okay, another thing that it's about Ted Bundy, the notorious American serial killer. He admitted that pornography, he was addicted to pornography, that it was the fuel to kill women, especially the women who had split hair. We hear Bundy's victims. Look at their hair, they were beautiful, and that's why he was attracted to these particular women due to their hairstyle. Okay, and pornography helped him a lot. Pornography helped him a lot, and addiction to alcohol. In Islam, you are not allowed to drink alcohol because it affects your liver, and pornography affects your mind. This Kimberly Leach she was a little girl, 12 years old girl. Why did he kill her? He was mentally ill, this is the first thing, and look at her beautiful face with this hairstyle, especially this hairstyle split. It is split from this point. All Bundy's victims' hairstyle had this hairstyle. That's why our God in Islam tells the women to cover their hair. And hijab in Christianity, look at the nuns. Look at the nuns at the churches. All this funny thing. Look at the Christians, they cover their bodies also. Look, is this woman a Muslim? No, she is Christian, but she cover their body, their hair, because they exactly know that covering your body is from God. And please read the message of Paul to Corinthians. Corinthians. Hijab, the Corinthians veils through hijabs and habits. Okay, let's find another thing. You can watch this video on YouTube, Hijab in the Holy Bible by Ahmad Didat. He was asked by a Christian woman about hijab, and it was a shocked answer. And here the Corinthians tell not this. Every woman, here the Corinthians. Every woman who prays or professes with her head uncovered dishonors her head, for that is 1, and the same as if her head were shaved. Okay, it was mentioned, this is the hijab in Christian denomination. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, and let's continue our tutorials.
Hey man, yo, come on, get off my medication.
I'm sorry, man. No way.
I'm gonna use your whole body to make me feel
All right, man. Come on. All right, man. Stop rushing.
Make me hurt you. I can't allow that. You know what I am? Ugly all day. This ain't happening. Not here. Not now.
What's happening?
Hey!
Relax, he's right. Not here, not now. Do you fly, Johnny?
No.
You keep that in mind when you look at her.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about the systems. We're gonna complete our project. Open our analysis program. Okay, and here our mall, yeah. We defined weather, 3 spaces and 1 system, and a library. And here we have our system. This is single zone and CAV system, not sized. Right click, we have duplicate, delete, print input data, view input data, print and view design results, print view simulation results and properties. You can view the input data, that everything you have input okay, here is the report, the air system name, this is the name, and the equipment type chilled water AHU, and single zone CAV. Number of zones is 1 because it's a single zone. We have 3 spaces, single zone. And here the ventilation system components and the ventilation air data. Everything you input, you will find it here. Central cooling data. And here's the supply and the bypass factor, central heating, and supply fan data, and supply and duct system. And here the zone components, the zone 1 office and gas station and pet shop, thermostat and zone data. Also you can find anything and everything you input. The zone heating units, supply terminal units, and here the system sizing data, this, and here the safety factors. If you have safety factors, the zone sizing data, also some of space, airflow rates, individual peak space loads, and the equipment data. Now, okay, you can save it as RTF file, and then you can open it by Microsoft Word. And here you can put it in this is the default, and you can locate the folder. Okay, cancel, close. Now right click and print view design results. Here is the results that we wanna show it, and here the system sizing. Here you can check all of them, and or you check only on the results you wanna, because it may take some time, much time. Ventilation, zone load summary, space load summary from July, or you can make it from January to December, or only at the month you want. Okay, you can determine the period here from here. So let's make it all the months, but remember that you have a schedule. You have a schedule here, and just click on preview, and you have to wait. With options selected, you selected a large number of pages will be generated. Estimated number of pages 47 pages. Are you sure you want to generate this quantity of output data? Yes. Okay, here is the system, the project here, and the time of generation, and the date. Here their system name, equipment class, chilled water air handling unit. Only the HVAC engineer who uses HAP can read this. The air type, system type SZ CAV, single zone constant air volume, and the number of zones are one. Floor area is the total area of the spaces. Space 1 plus space 2 plus space 3 are 75 square meter, and location is Cairo, Egypt. It's according to your location that you inputted at the beginning. Okay, sizing calculation information, the calculation months that we selected at the schedule or at the system from May to September. Sizing data calculated. Okay, zone liter per second sizing. Notice that here the units are SI units, and I'm gonna show you the next couple of minutes how to make it in CFM or and ton refrigerant. Here is the space liter per second sizing, sum of space airflow rates, and space liter per second sizing individual peak space load. The central cooling coil sizing data, all of these. The total coil load, this is the total coil load is 27.2 kilowatt. This is the this will make you select the appropriate coil from the catalogs of the companies. And here the sensible coil load, this is only the sensible 25.2. Notice that the sensible is very high because it's not mosques or churches or full of many people. No, these locations it's just security guard, pit shop. The sensible load is predicted to be higher than the latent load or latent E. Coil liter per second at July 15 at 3 p.m. is this liter per second, and maximum block liter per second according to you, if you wanna read more about every information, every step here, you can search for it and find out. Sum of peak zone liter per second is 2014 and 40 liter per second, and here the sensible heat ratio SRH equal 0.9 to 7. It is the ratio between the sensible coil load divided by the total coil load. According to your experience, according to your readings about the zones and the SRH, it is recommended to the SRH is recommended to be from a number to a number, or a value from a value. You have to be careful or take care of this SRH, because it will tell you that the load of this zone is acceptable or there is something wrong. Okay, and here the square meter per kilowatt HAP divides the total area by the load, and here the watt per square meter. Everything he did it. And here the water flow at 5.6 Kelvin rise. This is very important for sizing the water pipes, the piping system for this system, at delta T 5.6. And here the load occurs at this is the peak. It may not be the peak of the load. It may not be as the same as the peak of the weather, because you may have the weather outside at the peak, but after many minutes the load will be transferred into the zone, and the temperature outside decreased. Okay, so the peak of the system it is not always like the peak of the weather. Okay, because there is time lag between them. And here the the outside air dry bulb, wet bulb. This is the outside air, and wet bulb and dry bulb. The entering dry bulb, wet bulb. This is the end that the temperature of the air that enters the cooling coil. It is at 25.1. It is higher than 24 because, as you know, the return air from the zone it is predicted to be at 24 or larger than it, and there is losses, and the heat, the return heat gains heat from the plenum or from the losses at the duct, so it is predicted to be larger than 24. Okay, the leaving dry bulb, wet bulb, this is the supply temperature that leaves the cooling coil. It is at 14.8. Okay, and here the coil apparatus dew point is 13.7. It is lower than the supply due to the bypass factor. You know, if the bypass factor is the lowest value here is 0.05, this temperature will increase, and the resulting RH here is the relative humidity inside the zone. It will be 52%. This will tell you that if you wanna dryer or you accept this result, so it's up to you. And here the design supply temperature, this is the theoretical supply temperature, it's 14.4, but according to the calculations the supply temperature will be 14.8. It is psychometrical issues related to the psychometry process. you have to know that not all you want will you get it. You will get. Now it is according to the calculations. It will be. Okay, zone T stat check. This is 1 of 1. Okay, this is the throttling range. Remember that there is a throttling range. We want the temperature inside the room 24, and with a throttling range 1. This means that you will have 24 degrees Celsius, and it is allowable that the temperature inside the room increases by 1 degree to reach 25. Then the HVAC system start again. Okay, so it is okay. 1 of 1, the zone number 1. Okay, the HAP software will apply the throttling range as we did. So the maximum temperature of the zone will be 25, not more than this temperature. Okay, but if the calculations were impossible and HAP did not get the throttling range, it will tell you that 0 of number of zones here. If we have 3 zones, it will be shown here that 0 of the 3 zones, or 0 of or 1 of the 3 zones, to get it, the throttling range here is good. Okay, no problem. But you may find this is red. Okay, this means that HAP did the calculations and found that it is impossible to get the required temperature inside the room. It will not be 24 or 25. No, it will be more than this, according to the psychometry calculations. So if you notice that this is red, and here is 0 of 1 or 0 of 2 or 1 of 2 or 1 of 3, this means that you have a zone that the temperature will be more than 25, more than the throttling range, and you will find it. You will find the deviation here. Here is 0 Kelvin, so because this is no problem. But if it is there is a deviation from the throttling range, it will be written here. Suppose that we have a problem, and this is in red, and HAP tells you that 0 of 1 for the zone throttling range, and the maximum zone temperature deviation is 0.8. This means that the temperature inside the zone will increase up to 25.8. Remember that we do not want this, but according to the psychometry process, and it depends on the internal loads and the environment of this zone and SHR. It depends on many things that may make the throttling range is hard to get it. So HAP will get more than this by 0.8. To sum up, here there is no problem, and the maximum temperature you will get inside the room, it will be 24 plus 1 degree, as we did in the throttling range. And if you have this in red, and here is 0.9 or 0.8, this means that the maximum temperature inside the room will be 24 plus 1 plus 0.8, according to some issues related to the psychometry process. Okay, and here is the central heating coil. Okay, but before talking about it, I can show you a picture here. Here it's a single zone, as looks like at our system. Zone T stat check 0 of 1, so it tells you that the throttling range cannot be reached as we want. We have here 24 degrees Celsius for the room with throttling range 1, but it is impossible to get this. So the maximum zone temperature deviation is 0.8. This means that the maximum temperature inside the zone will not be 25, no, it will be 24 plus 1 plus 0.8 according to the psychometry process. Okay. Okay, the central heating coil. Here the maximum coil load in kilowatts and the coil per second at the ESHTG is 2040 liter per second, and the maximum coil L liter per second the same, and here the water flow at 11.1 Kelvin drop is 0.24 liter per second, and the load occurs at DESHTG is December. The maximum here is December. Okay, and here is July, because here in the winter and here in the summer. And watt per square meter is 147.5, and this is the entering dry bulb and leaving dry bulb. And here the data of the supply fan sizing data, the actual maximum liter per second. Because this is a simple zone, you will not find differences between these numbers, because there is no losses according to your input. It's according to your input. And here the standard liter per second 2022. The actual maximum is 27, but this is per liter per second per square meter. Okay. You have to read about every inch in this report to get what's going on. You may open the help and or ask your senior engineer. This is the fan motor, brake horsepower, and fan motor in kilowatt, and fan static. If you did not input this data, you will not find it. Okay, it will be 0 as you see here. Okay, excuse me because I did change the system here many times, but you it will be according to your input data. And here the outdoor ventilation air data is the design airflow liter per second is 96 liter per second. And this is for the full system, the old system. This is the amount you need for this zone, for the 3 spaces. Here is zone sizing and space, sum of space airflow rates, and individual peak space loads. So this is the total. And here the liter per second per square meter is 1.27, and liter per second per person 3.64 liter per second per person. And notice that the page 1 of 35. Here you can see the same, but here the sizing calculation from May to September. And here the zone 1, if the maximum cooling sensible is this, and the design airflow, this is zone number 1, there's a total for this zone, and the minimum airflow and time of peak is July, the maximum heating load is this, and many things. Zone terminal sizing, there is no here terminal sizing data required for this system. And here this the office, the spaces, cooling sensible kilowatt. Okay, time of load. Here the peak, I think, and here the airflow for each space, and heating load and flow area and the spaces, space liter per second square meter. Then here the summary ventilation sizing method, sum of space as we did. Okay, and here the space ventilation analysis table, flow area, maximum occupants, and maximum supply air, the required outdoor air for each space, required outdoor air liter per second per square meter. It is kind of multiplying the number by number of person and the floor area. And here the uncorrected outdoor area air and required outdoor air percentage of supply. And here is the total. This is for this space 1, space 2, space 3. And here the total of maximum supply air. This allows you to select the appropriate machine. And here the design cooling and the design heating. This is very useful because if you check out all these numbers and you find something wrong with any number of them, you can go back and recalculate it or recheck it. And here the window and skylight solar loads and wall transmission, roof transmission, and so on, the ceiling, overhead lighting. You may see that this is not 340 and 47, it may be 3000. So there is something wrong. So go back and check out the overhead lighting again. And here is also the design heating. Detail sensible latent, the zone conditioning, plenum, wall load. If you have a plenum, notice that if you do not have any input, you will not get this, you will get 0. It's according to your input data. Okay, duct heat gain loss, and a central cooling coil, central heating coil, the total system loads. Notice this is the key. The positive values are CLQ loads, and here this cooling loads, and here the heating loads. Also for the zone number 1, we have the zone number 1 only, the windows, skylights. Here the details of the numbers in square meter, sensible latent. Also here the space loads. This is the space loads for the GF office. Okay, this is the everything about the GF office, ground floor office. And here for the ground floor guard station, everything about it, and the pet shop. And then the hourly, this is the design month, this January from 0 to 23. The supply air, the general, here is January. You know that we do not have anything in January because we calculated it, the cooling load from May to September. As you did, you set from January to December and you will find 0. So you may make it from May to September when you generate this report. So you will find at this. So here is May. Here this is May. Well, this is our numbers, and there is no pre-cool, no preheat, no terminal cooling, no, according to your input data. And here is July, August is German, and here is September. October you will find nothing. November, December 0. And here zone 1 design month, January. Here this is outside air temperature, zone temperature. Okay. RH. There's many details. And here the July design cooling day. This is the peak at 15 at 3 p.m. This ventilation air, the inlet, and the temperature of the inlet. And here is the outlet and return mixing, and the central cooling coil. It will be 14.8. The specific humidity, airflow, CO2 level, sensible heat and latent heat, supply fan and cold supply duct, zone air. You have to recheck everything. If you have losses, if you have something wrong, please recheck it and go and recalculate it. This is zone number 1, zone data, table 1, system data. Also everything you need is here. The zone sensible load, and here is this load. And here this data for January we will find nothing. 0, 0, 0, 0. And here is from May. This is the data for May. This is the load. Okay, this hour of day. So this is total cooling. There is no heating. And here data for June from 0 to 23. According to your schedule, according to your settings, you will find this load. And here from July, for July, and here is August, and here is September, and there is no anything for October. I think if your schedule is from 8 a.m. to 17, you only find this, but is from 0 to 23. It's according to your schedule. Okay, and here for zone number 1. Yes, zone conditioning. Here is the zone sensible, and here this zone conditioning. What does this mean? Here is the zone sensible without HVAC system. the black without HVAC system, and you need HVAC system, so the load it will be like this. Okay, here is the load without HVAC, and here is the load with HVAC system. For more information about it, you can read the help. So this is the normal load without HVAC, and the blue is with HVAC. And here the psychometry chart, the outdoor air 0.1, and the mixed air 0.2, then the central cooling coil outlet, and then the supply fan outlet, and then the room air is number 5 is 24, around 24. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the report. Notice that the water flow here for cooling is 1.17, and for heating is 0.23 liter per second of water. So if this is a two-pipe system, you have to design according to the largest number. Here is the cooling if you are in the Middle East or at a hot place. Okay, if you live in Canada or Russia or something like this, you will find that this number will be larger than this number, so you will make your calculation according to the largest. If this a four-pipe system, so you will use every number, I think, to for each piping system. Okay, piping for cooling, piping for heating. Another thing, I've talked about this, and notice that the software here show that there is calculations from 0 to 23, although the schedule is from 8 a.m. Okay, we did not set all the day. We do not need all the day. We set a schedule, but I think that this version of HAP 4.9 calculate every thing, but the calculations, the total coil, this is according to the schedule, not around the 24 hours. I've checked it by making a new schedule from 0 to 23 100%, and this load increased to 30. Okay, so you have to know what's going on with this version of HAP. In the last versions, I think that HAP only show the from 8 to 12, and then from the specified hour, not all the hours. Here is the data for May. You can see the from 0 to 23, but it only takes from 8 to 12, and then there is a break according to our schedule. It will be according to our schedule to 17 or 18, and this is the cooling load from here to here, not all this period. That's just a global or a general load for each month, and here for each zone. The zone, as I said, zone sensible. This is the normal load of the HVAC without the HVAC. The loads without the outside loads. This is the loads of the zone. it is normal, and this is the HVAC system. Okay, and here, and only HAP takes from 8 to 12 and then break and then continues until a certain clock time. And here is the psychometry process. For the system, here this is the total zone loads, safety factors, and here the plenum roof load. If you set that there is a heat gain due to the plenum, as I said, you will find here a percentage of the gaining heat. You may find here 15% or whatever, or something like this. Plenum lighting load here is 000 because I did not set it. I just kept I just made it 0. Okay, here it tells you the percentage of the gaining heat due to the plenum and the roof load, as I said. And there are miscellaneous electric equipment, watts. Everything you need is here. Okay, now this is ionis. Okay, we need to make it preferences, make it English, and then go to systems. Notice that it is now sized and not simulated. Print, view results. Okay. Here in tons, 7.7 tons, and here the total coil load, and here the degree in Fahrenheit. Okay, and here the flow rate is in CFM, and so on. Skylight. And as we said, okay, preferences, metric, kernels, lighting, none. You may make it none or create new schedule. Assessment, if you make it 1, okay. Oh, whatever you select this only. Yes, all of them are the same. Okay. Mm. And here and go to systems, sizing in validated, print. Oh, notice that the total coil load increased. Here it becomes 30.8 kilowatt. This is due to considering the cooling load from 0 to 23 clock. Okay, but you will also find here the complete curve, but here for this HAP takes into consideration from 0 to 23 that we need the HVAC system. The HVAC system will run around the entire day, or all the day. Okay, notice this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the report of the office, and here you can make it lighting again, and here lighting, electrical boards, lighting, people, none, and here lighting, total lighting, people, because the schedules are the same, so it doesn't matter. Lighting, okay, systems, sizing, so this is the decrease in the total coil load. So this is to assure that this happens due to this. In this version 4.9, in version 4.6 this does not happen. What happened is you will see only the curve from 8 AM to 12. According to your schedule, you will find the curve. Now we're going to talk about this, the sizing data. Sizing data, after generating the report, we can now talk about sizing data. Sizing data is after generating the report, you can accept the computer calculations, and if you do not accept it, you can change them. Here this is for system, and here for the zone. Here is the computer generated that you accept everything, but in the user defined, if you wanna calculate something by yourself, you can change here the cooling supply temperature, and for the temperature after the cooling coil, and the ventilation air flow rate, this is after the fan, and here the heating supply temperature also after the heating coil. And here the chilled water delta, this delta T, you wanna make it 5 kelvins, okay. This is the difference between the temperatures that of the water that enters the cooling coil and exits from it, and also the hot water delta T, the temperature that enter the hot water, the heating coil, and the temperature of the exit. And here the safety factor of cooling sensible. This is the safety factor of in the summer of the cooling coil, and here is the safety factor of the cooling coil but latent loads, and here is the sensible loads. And also for the heating coil, you have here the percentage of the safety factor. For the heating coil, not cooling, not sensible or latent, is for heating coil only. Heating coil is not split to sensible or latent. No, it is one thing. Okay, here is the computer, and here is the user defined. For zone sizing, you have here zone airflow sizing method. Sum of space airflow rates or peak zone sensible load. It will be calculated according to the peak load of this zone, and you have here 3 choices. If you choose coincident space loads, it will be calculated according to the peak of the zone, and then the flow rates will be divided it will be the coincidence. Here the coincident space loads will be distributed, the airflow will be distributed according to the peak of the zone. This method, the peak zone sensible load, the flow rate is calculated according to the peak sensible load of the zone, and then the flow rates are distributed on the spaces that their loads are coincident with the peak zone sensible load of the zone. Okay, you can read about it for more details. So according to the peak zone sensible load, the airflow rate will be calculated and then will be distributed on the spaces according to the coincident space loads at the peak of at the time that the peak load of the peak zone sensible load occurs. Suppose that the peak load is on July at 3 p.m. So the airflow will be calculated according to this date and will be distributed to the on the spaces according to their coincident space loads. And if you choose individual peak space loads, it will be calculated according to the peak zone sensible load, but it will be distributed according to the individual peak space loads. Every space has its peak. Here you may have many peaks. Okay, so according to every space peak, the flow rate will be distributed. Again, if it is coincident space loads, it's according only to the peak of the sensible load, and then HAP automatically will see the coincident space loads, and the flow rate will be calculated. So this is the coincident space loads, sensible space loads to be accurate. The third is zone. Here the airflow will be calculated according to the peak zone sensible load of the zone, and then will be distributed according on the spaces according to the liter per second per square meter. Okay, for this space. Now the schedule here, it's according to the system you have. It will be determined here if you can change many things or just this. Here is the supply airflow liter per second. You can change it by yourself. And the zone heating unit, HTG, is the heating unit, kilowatt. This is the unit of heating that you may use in this system. And the reheat coil, if you use a reheat coil, you can put the load of it in kilowatts. And the fan pearl mixing box, if you have this, you can put the air flow rate of it in liter per second. So this is the capacity of the zone heating unit and the capacity of the reheat coil and the amount of flow rate of the fan pearl mixing box. Now the equipment, actually it is if you will carry out calculations of the consumption and the fuel, you will use this tab here. Okay, but we will not. We are not gonna speak about it or talk about it right now. We only talk about the cooling loads. So we may deal with this tab later, because it deals with the cost of the electricity and fuel. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've just finished this tutorial. This is the last tutorial in systems. If Allah wants, we will talk about plants in the next tutorials, and to keep the circulation running. Okay. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.